It looks like Gylfi Sigurosson is finally going to get his move away from Swansea this summer after months of pushing for a move. Everton are willing to splash out more than 45 million on the Icelandic midfielder as Ronald Koeman looks to reinvest all that money from the sale of Romelu Lukaku. One thing is for sure though, Sigurdsson, like many others in football this summer, have kicked up a little bit of a stink and caused a bit of controversy about the way they wanted to leave their club. So today we're going to look at 5 players who also forced their way out of their club. Number 1, Neymar. The biggest and best example of this probably of all time. Despite getting paid truckloads and playing all the time, as well as winning trophies with ease, Neymar somehow wanted to leave Barcelona. For most of the summer, he was looking to get a move to PSG done, however Barca just kept rejecting bids. The Brazilian stormed out of training, but Barca continued to reject offers. PSG did finally meet Barcelona's asking price and Neymar's release clause of over 200 million, but La Liga actually rejected the offer, and Neymar himself had to activate his release clause to finally force through a move to PSG. What a mess. Number 2, Nicolas Anelka. Ah, good old Sulk. His antics are a staple of Footy Feed videos now. Anyway, despite being a revelation in the Premier League with Arsenal, Anelka didn't really like England because of the British press. And in the summer of 1999, Anelka refused to return to Arsenal after submitting a sick note, instead decided to train and chill in Paris. In fact, he said, "I think they'll be waiting for a long time to see me. I'm fine, I'm calm." After rejecting a bid from Lazio, Arsenal finally accepted that he was going to move and sold him for £23 million, and then they managed to sign a lad called Thierry Henry with the money. Number 3, Raheem Sterling. When the riches of Man City come calling for your player, well, you know you're screwed. In 2015, City wanted to sign Sterling, Sterling wanted to move to City, however Liverpool slapped a massive transfer fee on him, and Brendan Rodgers wanted to keep the young winger. Actually, in fact, this all started in 2014, when Sterling wanted a massive pay rise from his very low £35,000 a week. He rejected a £100,000 a week offer from Liverpool, and was booed by fans at the new kit launch and the end of season awards. Then, incredibly, his agent claimed on radio that his client would be rejecting a £900,000 a week offer from Liverpool because he didn't want to be there. A few weeks later, and Sterling failed to report for pre-season duty on time, citing that he was too ill to do so couldn't join the team in Australia. Finally, after almost 7 months of nonsense, Liverpool accepted a £49 million deal from Man City, and Sterling was finally on his way. Number 4, Carlos Tevez. In truth, Tevez forced his way out of Man City in a very messy way. In fact, this saga lasted for almost 3 years. In 2010, Tevez wanted to leave City and said that his situation at the club was regrettable. And then in 2011, he said that he had to move away from Manchester for the sake of his family. A few months later, and during a Champions League game against Bayern Munich, Tevez refused to come on as a substitute, though he claimed it was a misunderstanding. Okay, Carlos. Well, he had a massive falling out with Roberto Mancini, who said he would never be pulling on a Man City shirt again. Tevez was suspended for 2 weeks by the club and then sent back to Argentina for 5 months and banned from the training ground. Though he returned and apologised and did actually play for Mancini again, Tevez still wanted to leave, and finally in 2013 convinced the club to sell him to Juventus for just 12 million. And number 5, Pierre van Hooden. So we could have gone for Luis Suarez or Fernando Torres, but we thought we'd introduce you to a story that some of you may not remember or have even heard of. In 1997, the Dutch hitman had decided he'd had enough of playing for Nottingham Forest in the First Division, so asked Dave Bassett if he could leave. Bassett responded by saying he would let him leave at the end of the season once the club has been promoted, and Van Hooydonk did just that, smashing in a load of goals on the way. However, after the World Cup that summer, Van Hooydonk decided that he still wanted to move away from Forest, especially after they started selling some of their best players. With strong interest from Newcastle United, who were willing to pay £7 million for the striker, Bassett said that he wanted at least £10 million. And Van Hooydonk hit out at his manager, saying it's like trying to sell a cappuccino for 25 quid. It's for sale, but who's going to touch it? When Van Hooydonk realised he wasn't going to get a move, he just stopped turning up for training, instead stayed in the Netherlands and traded with NEC Breda. He did, however, return to Forest because, well, they were in a pretty deep relegation battle and they needed the hitman to help rescue them. He famously scored against Derby County and turned around to expect his teammates to celebrate with him, only to find them running in the opposite direction. Van Hooden couldn't save Forest as they were relegated, and after almost 2 years of trying to escape the club, he finally got his move away, joining Benfica. And that's our list. Who do you think will be the next player to force their way out of the club? Do you think it'll happen this summer? Well, let us know in the comments below. Be sure to like and share this video, and hit that subscribe button to join Team Footy Feed if you haven't already.